I have finally found another one to join the ever-growing collection. And the only thing better than the timing of this video is how much I paid for it. At this point, the only golf bags that I am allowed to collect, in terms of my wife letting them in the house, is major championship golf bags. The amount of coincidences in this video is somewhat scary. The bargain that you're about to see me pick up from the footage of this morning, the timing of the 150th St Andrews Championship coming around the corner, that ties in beautifully to this bargain. And not only that, the amount of clubs that I have in stock that can pretty much mirror the major champion that won it back in 2015. So let's rewind the clock to this morning while I show you the bag that started this whole collecting craze of mine off. However, these two things now, and hopefully more to come, not only has sparked this series idea, but actually I can't see them ever leaving my side. Don't worry, buddy. We're off to go and get you a friend today. This is the only thing I get excited about when it comes to collecting stuff around the game of golf. Everything else is up for sale. And the whole idea is that these are going to be sitting in the simulator when we have the second-hand club fitting shop open, and these are all going to be along the side, so people obviously can come and have a look at them and admire their beauty. Anyway, that is my prized possession at the moment, but luckily we're now going to go and pick up another one. Not the same place, not the same brand, but something equally as special, especially the tournament we got coming up in 6 weeks or so. Okay, down here in Highbridge, it only took me about an hour and a half to get down here. Gonna go and pick up the bag now, and I'll show you exactly what we paid for it. Callaway golf bag, £50. And not only that, it has the head cover to go with it. So at £50, I cannot complain. And also, not forgetting, this isn't something that I'm looking to ever sell. This is something that's obviously very much going in my collection. At this point, the only golf bags that I am allowed to collect, in terms of my wife letting them in the house, is major championship golf bags. So you can see why I'm quite excited. Let's go and pick up this bag. I'm going to take it home. I'm going to put it alongside my Masters one, and then I think it's only right we take it to the golf course and put some clubs in it. Boys and girls, here she is, the Callaway golf bag as it was listed, but of course it's the 2015 The Old Course St Andrews Links official Callaway golf bag. Again, just like the tailor-made one, it's got a nice little badge down the bottom here. Tour authentic, and the condition of it, I'll show you them side by side, my two golf bags. Obviously this collection is growing, and I really want to talk to you about the series that I hopefully can pull off, because it's a bit of an ask and it's going to take some digging and potentially a few sponsors. But I love the way these golf bags are attached to a golf course with a major, and there's also a tour player that won that golf course with certain golf clubs. And this video was meant to be, because the clubs that you see here, I haven't gone out and got a single one of them, but how close they are to Zach Johnson's winning bag in 2015 is quite scary. 8.5 913 DT that he used. I'll show you a little list down the right hand side here that I pulled from Golf WRX, the bag that he was using. That's why I love that website. 913 FD 15 degree fairway wood. Now obviously I haven't got the same shafts, that would be relatively impossible, but the idea for the series would be get one of these bags. I don't think Titleist does many of these, to be perfectly honest. I've seen a couple, but not all of them. Callaway, TaylorMade, whatever it is, whatever major champion won that year, go and source their golf clubs that are 8 years old, 9 years old, because then it gives us a bit of an idea what clubs were they using to shoot 10 under, 12 under, 15 under. But nowadays we wouldn't even give these clubs a second look. Now I was shocked when it came to the irons, and I completely disregarded that he was using an AP1 at the top here, but then had AP2s through the bottom of the bag here. He won a major championship with an AP1 at the top, which is bigger than these CBs, 716. Again, I was quite excited, and why I was excited as well, he used X100s, which is exactly what these have got in them as well. Now I'm sure their X100s would have been tour issued and tipped and you name it, but again, I was excited how close we got to this bag without even trying. So if you gave me 2 weeks to go and source exactly same clubs as major champions, maybe even European Tour winners. We go and play the golf club, we go and take the bag, and we recreate some of the shots that they used to win around that tournament. And how many balls would it take me to hit that exact same shot? 10, 15, 20? Now I've got a feeling I might need a few sponsors to help this kind of series idea, but I think it'd be interesting, and no one's necessarily done it, and it's something a bit unique. Old clubs that at the time were state of the art, but these guys were shooting 12, 14, 16 under, 8 shot gap between them and the second place, you name it. Whereas now you can go and pick these up on eBay for £40, £30, you name it. Now another really interesting thing is he used a 9 iron and then went straight to a 48-degree wedge. Basically for me got like a 30-40 yard gap. I imagine this potentially would have been bent down a bit, or maybe not, I'm not too sure. But again, he had an AP2 9 iron and then went straight to a 48 SM4. The SM6 obviously wasn't out at the time, but he had a 48-degree SM4. And then went 54 and then 60 at the bottom. Now sadly I haven't got a Seymour putter to match his Seymour putter, but I'm just trying out this Odyssey DFX putter that actually I quite like, and potentially, I've always said this, I never get my ping putter out, but I've lost a bit of confidence in it, so potentially it might be coming out of the bag in the short term. And then again, to try and get as close as possible, he was using a Titleist Pro V1X on the day. Now this isn't an exact science, and obviously we're far away from his exact bag, but I'm hoping now that you guys could see somewhat the idea of this series going forward. It's going to take a bit of time, a bit of effort, but I imagine the videos we could pull from this, well, I think that'd be amazing. Straight from the get-go, I'm already in deep water without having a pitching wedge in the bottoms of those CB irons. There's only one reason why he wouldn't have the pitching wedge in the bag that I can possibly think, apart from the fact that that's false information, and it's that he didn't want to have the option out on the golf course. It was incredibly windy that week, and he's got such a good ball game. He can fly literally every club, and I just feel that if it's into wind, it has to be a flighted 9 iron, and if it's downwind, it has to be a hard 48-degree wedge. Even have a hope in hell of getting that ball to stop on the green. Me, on the other hand, that has zero ball flight control, I would love a pitching wedge at the bottom end of the bag there. I'm not quite sure what it is about Titleist drivers at the moment, but it doesn't matter if it's a 917, a 915, 913. I seem to just find the middle of the club face with these things. I just have a serious amount of confidence. Now, one thing I would say though that kind of puts me off with the 913, and this was my driver, like, it's so ironic. I paid £550 for this driver. I paid £250 for the head, £300 for the aftermarket shaft when I was 19, 20, and I loved it. And I loved it back in the day, and it did exactly the job that I wanted it to. But now I look at it compared to, let's say, the 917, which I absolutely loved the other week, it just seems a bit cumbersome, a bit more rudimental when I'm looking at out of dress, which does slightly put me off. And to be honest, that's all this game is. I hit 2 great drives. I hit a great drive down the last there, which went in excess of 300 yards, which we're all going to take. And yes, there might be some drivers out there that will go even further, and I've just pulled that one off the tee there, but we're still in play, and we've still got a shot into his heavy into wind par 4 that's very long. Point is that if I don't like the look of it or don't feel comfortable over it now by myself with my camera on the golf course I always play, what will I feel like under pressure? I have to be honest with myself, that's some of the best ball striking I've had in a very long time, and I'm actually a big fan of the CBs. Never played them back in the day. I've always felt that I needed something a bit more forgiving, but I did find today they're not blades by any stretch of the imagination, but I felt like I had to hit the middle, otherwise they're going nowhere. And I think a direct result of that is that I actually flushed a good portion of my iron shots today, myself in a lot of birdie chances. I'm also a big fan of this. I've been struggling with my putting for a while, and I've always felt like my club face opens with my ping, whereas this, it just aligns me better. It's definitely me, not the putter, but for the little amount of time I'm practicing my putting, which should definitely be more, don't get me wrong, I feel like this is just an easy remedy. And for a putter, let's be honest, that's no more than £40. If you can give yourself that little nudge of confidence, well then I find it's pretty much a win-win. The bit I love about what's inside this golf bag, apart from it's kind of close to what Zach Johnson used around the old course at St Andrews, is that if you were to buy this whole set now, I don't think you'd be spending more than £600, maybe even less. 60, 60, 40 maybe at best, so that's 180. 300 for the irons, so that's 480. 40, 520, 100 for the wedges, so £600 for that entire golf bag. For me personally, especially the lower end, is some of the best golf I played in quite a while. And these are with clubs that are near on 6 years old. If you did like this video and you want to pick up a bargain for 2022 from a club that's basically just come out, you'll probably like this video up here on the right hand side. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Catch you guys there.